What is a cosmetologist? A cosmetologist is an expert in applying cosmetic procedures, therapies, and treatments to beautify one's outer appearance and implementing cosmetic treatments to people's hair, skin, and nails. So cosmetology is not just surrounding hair. That is the plus about cosmetology. You can do so many things under this one umbrella. It's so many things you can do. So if you enroll in cosmetology and you find yourself waxing everybody in the class, maybe you just want to further your career in specializing in waxing, maybe that's what you want to specialize in. But if that's something you figure out longer down the line, that's fine, because you can do that under your cosmetology license. If you decide, like if I was to decide that I kind of want to go back to nails, I don't have to go back to school. If I decided to take a one-on-one class to learn more about it, I could definitely do that. But essentially, I wouldn't have to, because I already am licensed and I can do that under my license. So that's what I really love about cosmetology. Hey y'all, so if you are new to my channel, welcome. I am JD Jalandria, owner and stylist of J Nicole Custom LLC. I specialize in natural hair protective styling, and over here on my channel I do day in the life vlogs of a hairstylist. I give beginner tips for hairstylists, cosmetology students, and just basically give you insight on building a business. If you are new and beginning your business, your hair business, anything really pertaining to the beauty industry, you can kind of get a little insight and get a little sneak peek and get some tips that I think is helpful, that I found helpful in building my business. If you find that, if you think any of that will interest you, then stick around, stay a while. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey girl, hey boo, I love to see you, as you know. So I've been licensed 3 years in the state of Michigan. And as you can tell by the title, we'll be talking about becoming a licensed cosmetologist. I am in the state of Michigan, so things that I am speaking of pertains to Michigan and Michigan only. So you would definitely have to look into your state specifically. Requirements are a little different depending on where you are. So if you're interested in what the steps are in becoming a licensed cosmetologist and what my process was like, keep watching. So I'm gonna try to simplify this video because I want to do a series, and in the series I'll be talking about becoming a licensed cosmetologist, things that helped me, things that I did to help in building my business, and things that I found to be more important versus what wasn't as important as I thought it was. So in this video I'm trying to break it down. I have like 8 different sections, so just stick with me. I want it to be informational as possible. I was watching another video that really inspired me to do this, but it was based off of estheticians, and she said something that really resonated. I'm gonna take the same thing that she said and basically let me be a mentor for you if you don't have a person to refer to, or if you don't have somebody that's in the industry and you feel you have a relationship with, that you are comfortable enough in building or learning from them, or they teaching you. Like, so in cosmetology, like, I didn't really know anybody that well enough to say, you know, well, can I be your mentee, or, you know, can I assist for you, or maybe I was just nervous. I was too nervous. I am a little introverted, so I guess that could play a big role too. But let me be your virtual mentor and just give you insight on things and help you along your journey. Or if you are thinking about it, whether you're in high school now or you're looking into fulfilling a passion you've always had and you want to go this route, I got you. Okay, so first things first, picking a school as well as figuring out what you need to register. Normally it's simple. You're gonna go in, you're gonna apply. More than likely you will have to take, so I took the route of going to a community college, but I definitely was debating between a Veda Institute, which is a Douglas J, I want to say, and then a Paul Mitchell, and then the community college that we had here where I stay. So I did a dual enrollment program, kind of like a trade program that we were offered when we were seniors in school, depending on what program it was. But for cosmetology, you had to be a senior. So what I did, I went to school for 4 hours, and for the remaining 3, I was at Skills Center, and I took the cosmetology program. So that program actually accelerated my cosmetology experience, because when I graduated from high school, I also graduated with 420 hours. figure out what school you want to go to. So it only made sense after looking at the different costs. Even though the experience would have been different, the studies would have been different, the techniques I learned would have been different, the product knowledge I would have learned would have been different had I chose a different school. However, I chose the community college because it was in partnership with the program that I did my senior year. So I had 420 hours. In most cosmetology programs, our cosmetology program, you need 1,500 hours to complete your overall course to become a licensed cosmetologist in the state of Michigan. I'm gonna keep saying in the state of Michigan because I really don't know what else, like I don't know what the other states require. I really don't. I was going in with 420 hours. That meant I only needed to do 1,270 hours. That is how I chose the school I wanted to. Now again, if you have different options, if you don't have that many options, then obviously you'll pick the school that's available to you. We were only offered morning classes, so I started at 7:45. We had to clock in, and our days ended at 3:23 if I remember correctly. It was a full day process, like every day, 5 days a week. I think it was full 7 hours. It was a full 7 hours, 5 days a week. That was the goal. That is how long they mapped the program out to be, a year exactly. But of course, with life happening, things that you don't know, will come up or pop up, or days where you just don't have it in you to get up and go to school, those that will affect you. Essentially, they gave us the whole blueprint, a map out of how this plan was supposed to go. They gave us our little enrollment sheet, the syllabus essentially, and that's when I started my journey. I can get off in a whole nother video about my actual cosmetology school experience. I did a small video on it while I was doing my makeup, but I can get into like a life, the day in the life of a cosmetology student, and break it down. Like, this is what happened. This is what a day would look like if you were a student. Next would obviously be financial. So financial aid, whether you're paying out of pocket or whether you are receiving loans, Pell Grants, or whatever the case is, you definitely want to make sure that you are shopping around if you have the options to see what would be most affordable, the best as far as like what your financial aid has to offer. And if you are just coming out of high school, more than likely you will use your parents' information, so that is up to them to complete. If you are not, and you are say 25 and married, or 25 and on your own filing your own taxes, you will use your tax information, and you will actually have to enroll in school and fill out the FAFSA and all of that fun stuff to get your financial aid. Or if you pay cash, you would pay cash. I didn't have the luxury to do that, so I did use financial aid. Really grateful for that. That's something to think about as well when registering for the cosmetology program. The third thing, kits and uniforms, those vary. That's one thing I really love seeing, honestly, like on TikTok and different YouTube videos, the different like variety of uniforms that people have. I believe some are better. If I have a picture, I will post one on the screen, because they used to have us in these just all black, and then like just plain old, we couldn't wear like nothing cute. I felt as though in cosmetology, at every school, we should be able to dress like stylists. Like, could we stay according to a color scheme? Sure. But I feel like we should dress like cosmetologists, as if we were going into the salon. So, the uniforms and everything, okay. But essentially, we there for work. I mean, we there for school and to learn a program and to learn a trade. We're not there to look cute. Totally understandable. They very much got that point across with us. And that was a struggle for a lot of us, because we was just like, if I look good, I'll feel good. If I feel good, I'll do good. It wasn't no good. It wasn't no good, because we felt so just like, blah. But you can always spice it up too. I got a hang of it. Listen, get you some cute fitting uniforms, okay? If you gotta wear uniforms, get you a cute one. Invest in your uniform, because you will have to wear it for the rest of the year. For that remaining year that you are in school, you will have to wear it. So I didn't understand that until later on down the line. Like, I could actually go invest in like a cute uniform set, get you some cute nice shirts to go under it, get you some cute little gym shoes, because you have to wear closed-toe shoes. It ain't no cute shoes, it ain't no comfortable Crocs. It's not none of that. You have to wear closed-toe shoes. Obviously, you have to look into seeing what that is for y'all. We were required to purchase our own. They did offer them at our bookstore, where we could get our smocks, there, and I think we were able to get our pants there if they had it available. But again, use your resources, get your uniform somewhere else. Fourth thing, obviously with cosmetology, like I said, it's an hour-based program. Hours are so important. Hours are so important. So whenever you decide to commit to cosmetology, remember that you are committing the rest of your year worth of time to finish this program. And the better you can do, the best you can help serve yourself, your time, and your patience, because it's not the most. After a while, your excitement kind of dwindles down when you realize, like, okay, I'm really in a routine, I'm really in school, like I'm here to learn, I'm not really here to socialize or make friends, even though you can do that in addition to learning and like actually going to learn a trade and retain the information that you're being taught, so you can actually go out in the world and provide excellent services to people and know what you're talking about and be confident in what you're talking about. But hours are so important. They understand things happen. You got doctor's appointments. Some people have children. Some people have businesses. Some people have different things outside of their schooling. But with cosmetology, it's so much different than enrolling into a 2-year associate degree program, because you can kind of pick and choose your schedule, what works best and what aligns with you best. Cosmetology don't even give you the option, especially where I chose to go to school. Like there was no night classes, there were no midday classes, there were only morning to the afternoon, and that's all we had. That was our only option. So it was a little difficult to kind of work around. At the end of my program, like the last 3-4 months, I believe, I moved 50 minutes away. That was a hassle for me to have to wake up so early and go to school, but it was something that I had to do because I had committed to finishing my cosmetology program. So just remember, when choosing whether you want to go for cosmetology to become licensed, either have the support or allow yourself enough time to get yourself in a structured way, whether you have to switch your job to night shift and you go to school during the day. Just make sure you factor those things in, because you do want to do the cosmetology program within a year, so you're not there forever and it doesn't take you so long to complete the program, because I promise you, you don't want to do it. You do not want to do, they call this a program completer, PC. I get PTSD when I think about it, because like for real, it was just, y'all, I felt like it took years for me to finish, because at the very end, I just really lost like energy and going, and it was just so draining always being with those people. Like I think it's an energy-based field regardless, but like being there all the time with the same type of people, as women, we can get kind of catty. You can try to stay away from it and refrain from being involved in things like that, but when you're surrounded by it and you hear side conversations, or you hear things just because you are in the class with people and you see things because you do observe things, like it's so hard. But if you have the ability to just tune all that out, be respectful, be cool, cordial, but get in there, do what you gotta do, show up when you have to show up, and get done. Just get done. Hours are important. That's it. Hours are important. So we just gonna repeat that to ourselves like a mantra. Hours are important. Fifth thing, state board prep. So our school, the school that I went to, the school that I attended, was very much a teaching school. They very much, and from watching different videos and hearing different cosmetologist experiences, most beauty schools are teaching schools, because they know how important the state board actually is to become licensed and for you to be able to work in the field that you just studied in. Really was like adamant about making sure that we took tests every week, making sure we did reviews, making sure we went over the reviews, and making sure that we retained the information. And what they would actually do was make us go over our review, and like after we go over the review, we go take the test. It's kind of like cheating, but it's not, because because I'm not a good test taker anyway. So it worked out, but they were very adamant about us literally like knowing, how do you do a figure 8 curl? What do you do after you do a color service? How do you drape when you do a relaxer versus when you do a root retouch? Like it was just like things like that. They really like drilled us on, and it was like honestly the most helpful, because when I went to take the state board, I realized like, oh, these are the specific things they want to see us do. It's a year program and we learned a lot. Like, we learned about barbering, we learned about waxing, we learned about skin, we learned about nail, like we learned about a lot of stuff, but it's only certain things that they actually want to see you do when you go and take that state board test. So after all the studying and the test taking, I understood when I was in that test room, like doing the actual practical part, and it made sense. So state board prep will be something that you do continuously in your program. If you don't get nothing from the program, just make sure you remember, you keep your review sheet. I still have my review sheets to this day. I still have all the tests that I took, the practice tests that I took to this day, because of course we were allowed to keep it. So if you don't take nothing from your program, take the review days and the test days seriously, keep them close to you, and when it's time to take a state board, you won't have anything to worry about. There is testing like weekly. At least for us, it was like weekly or every other week. But closer to when you finished, it was every week, like we were taking a new test. Number 6 is state requirements. So I'm just gonna list some things here that I've researched and I've seen. Some things might have changed since I've been in school, but I know we had to have the 15 hours completed. We had to actually have our school register us and send over like our information, our MPAs, which was, I don't know the actual term, like the
minimum practical application.
Okay, the minimum practical applications. My sister is right here. She's actually in cosmetology school right now, so this is so funny I'm doing this. We had to have so many of those, and what they do is break them down in categories. So we had perm rods, we needed say 12. We had to do chemical relaxers, we had to do 10. We had to do 42 cuts, 90-degree cuts, or perm rod sets. So we had to do 50 perm rod sets, like so yeah, they listed it under like chemical applications. You had to have say 50 of them to say, you know, I completed everything that I needed for this cosmetology program to graduate and take my state board test. And you had everything pertaining to like cosmetology. You had to have like say 10 MPAs for cornrows. You had to have 6 MPAs for a pedicure. Like, you literally had to have so many different things that pertain to the cosmetology industry to be eligible to apply for the state board. So like I said, it might be, I'm gonna put some stuff on the screen, so whatever is at the bottom of this screen is also like different things that are required. You can't, there is a time limit for when you can take your state board after you finish. Like, after so long, it's kind of void, and it like you'll have to go back for either a program refresher, or you may have to start completely over. I'm not really sure. However, I do recommend that if you are serious about it and if you know this is something that you want to do, once you are done with your program, have your teachers, have your instructors register you for the state board and take your test within 2 weeks of being done, because everything is going to be fresh in your head still. The longer you wait, the more you just kind of really lose the energy, lose the enthusiasm behind going to take it, and it's not going to hit the same. It hit a little different when you wait a little longer. So that's just, and that's from experience too, because it took me a little minute, only because y'all, I get test anxiety. That might sound childish, that might sound like unrealistic, but I do. I be a little nervous, and I'm the one who psyched myself out. I'm like, the answer is C, and I had C, but then the more I seen it, I was just like, no, it's probably B, you know? So I'm that person. So the sooner you do it, the best you'll set yourself up for success. Have 2 more, and then I'm just gonna be done for tonight, and you're gonna have to get the rest in the next video. Number 7, while you're in cosmetology school, while you are studying and while you are learning and while you are actively like retaining that information and receiving that information, maybe possibly something that I didn't do but I think will be beneficial is to try to find an apprenticeship program, or find somebody that you can assist with directly with, because as a student you can go and assist and do minimum tasks for a stylist, even if it's sweeping up their hair and making sure their towels are washed, making sure their products are disinfected, whatever the case is. If you know this is something that you want to do, and you know you want to grow in it, and you want to learn from a master stylist before just going out there on your own. Try to find a program or try to find a salon that accepts students that are soon to be licensed, because one, that'll show like your dedication and like how serious you are about becoming a stylist. And people like to see that. And more than likely, stylists will be looking for assistants to hand off little tasks to, just to help them finish up their day a little bit quicker, and just to honestly give you the option to grow with them and learn from them. So definitely, if you know this is something you want to do, just look into finding where you could assist at. I know it's a little difficult with hours and stuff because it is a full day program, but if you can, I definitely say 10 out of 10 will recommend doing that. Okay, and the last thing, number 8, stylist inspiration. So I put that on there because, so in cosmetology school, I obviously knew my goal. Like I seen a bigger picture for me. I knew I wanted to get licensed. I knew this is like my career. Like I knew this is what I was gonna do. I found myself gravitating more towards being inspired by stylists that I've seen that worked for themselves, that specialized in certain things. And I also seen stylists doing like furthering their education outside of cosmetology, or keeping up with certain new trends that were coming out. Like they were just on it. I found stylists that I just love seeing, that inspired me through my program, to kind of give me a little bit motivation, to kind of be like, well, this, I could see this for myself, or like see somebody sweet space and be like, I really love the concept of that. So that just kind of put a little fire under my ass a little bit more, because I really was inspired by so many different stylists that I seen on Instagram that did hair that I like, that I felt like, oh my God, I could really bring this here and I could really offer this to my clientele, or I could really like, you know, up it and try this style, and I don't see a lot of people doing it here, so I could do this. So I just stayed inspired. So find inspiration in whatever it is. If you find yourself leaning more towards natural hair versus weaves, or if you find yourself more to short hair versus long hair, relaxed hair versus non-relaxed hair, whatever that case is, find inspiration in it and stick with that, because that'll be a motivation. All in all, becoming licensed gives you so many benefits. If this sounds like you, if this sounds like this is something that you needed a sign to decide whether or not you wanted to register for that cosmetology program to become a licensed cosmetologist. And the money, let me say too, the money is really good when you are licensed. You're more credible, you're more prone to do more things, to invest in your business, in your education, and you more, you know, you actually start to love what you do, because you realize just how much you can manipulate and kind of maneuver in this industry. And it's a spot for everybody. It's a spot for everybody. The beauty industry is literally, I want to say like a $1 billion, I was about to say trillion, but I don't want to lie. I will put the number here. The beauty industry is $1 billion business, y'all. $1 billion business. So when I say it's forever going, it's forever changing, there's forever time to literally create a new system or technique, and you patent it and you skyrocket and make millions and millions of dollars just from having passion and being excited about it for a period of time. Don't even got to be forever. I hope this inspired y'all. So I'm gonna be quiet. This is probably a little lengthy, but I hope you got a little inspiration. I hope this resonated with you. I hope if you were guessing or you were on the fence about it, this helped your decision making a little bit easier. And like I said, let me be a mentor to you. Let me be your virtual mentor, and consider me big sis, friend, bestie, whatever you want to consider me. And I will be back with a part 2 of this video. There will be 3 videos to this series, and then I will go off. Then I will share with you my actual experience, my journey in the cosmetology field, and where I started and where I am now, all the things that I've done, maybe with pictures, because I have every picture. That was one thing I always did. I stayed taking pictures of everything I did, everything that I did. I took pictures, and that was probably like the best thing I could have did for myself. Not only because it shows the growth, like, but it's proof that it really happened, and like, this is something that I've been so passionate about for so many years, and it's just crazy to see it unfold in the way that it is unfolding. So we'll see y'all in my next video. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope I kept you entertained. I hope I kept you interested. And if you want to see more of these, then make sure you subscribe. Leave me a thumbs up. Let me know that you enjoy this by commenting below. And I will see y'all in my next video.